Hey, what up, y'all? It's finally time. I'm your host, Will. Welcome to Phantom Frequency. We get into the entire multiverse of pop culture, but we're not going to be beating around the bush at all. ACDC up in this motherfucker. We're getting into the multiverse of the MCU, multiverse saga. Doesn't matter. Deadpool is back and Deadpool is in the MCU officially with Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, you can tell from the thumbnail and all the big hype leading into this thing. Hugh Jackman's back. Marvel backed up the dump truck of money onto his lawn. He's back, and now he's in the classic yellow suit and all. Badass action all around. Deadpool is back to be Marvel Jesus and save the MCU, if you will, and also be that trilogy capper to Deadpool and bring all the storylines full circle, essentially, and also be a love letter and a swan song to the Fox Marvel era that started in 1996 with Blade and ended this year with 2024 in Deadpool and Wolverine. We hadn't had an installment in the saga since 2019's 2021 or 2020 New Mutants and 2018's Deadpool 2 were the latest installments in that franchise right after the masterpiece that is Logan in 2017. So all throughout the 2000s into the 2010s and now into the weird ass 2020 decade, 2020s we've been living in. This is the culmination of that Fox era, and I'm one of those old heads in this scenario that I was there from almost Jump Street. I didn't see Blade when it came out in theaters because I was literally only 2 years old. I didn't see X-Men in theaters either because I just turned, I was 5 going on 6. But I did see it the following year or in 2002 on VHS. So ever since 2000, I would say ever since 2001 or 2002, I have been following along with the Fox Marvel Universe. I've seen nearly all those films since then in the theater. The only ones I didn't see in theater was Daredevil, Elektra, and Blade Trinity in Blade 2. But every other Fox Marvel film, up until I would say New Mutants, I saw in theater. So I saw X2, X-Men Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Oh no, I lied. I didn't see the Wolverine in theaters either, actually, because I was really, really disappointed by X-Men Origins Wolverine. But I had seen the X2, X-Men Last Stand, Origins Wolverine, First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, Logan, Deadpool 2, all that stuff. So I've been along for the ride ever since. I saw both Fantastic Fours, the original 2005 and then the 2006 or 7 sequel. I also saw the Fan Four Stick, the shitty version in 2015. I saw that. So I've seen everything that Fox Marvel has had to offer. It's been a while since I watched some of those films. But Deadpool, y'all have been on the channel. You've seen I've been doing an entire X-Men review series that started in the spring of this year. We did the entire saga, if you will, leading up to this one. So I'm really caught up on all the X-Men films. And I watch a few of those quite often. Logan and Deadpool 1 and 2, I watch quite often. And I watched the original X-Men trilogy pretty often as well. Those always have a special place in my heart. But getting into this film, improper, spoiler free right here, guys. So as you can see from the thumbnail, spoiler free. We're going to have a spoiler review that's going to be dropping either Sunday or Monday. So stay tuned for that. But this is just going to be the spoiler free review where I'm going to give you my overall take on the film, just give you some generic stuff about it. What was satisfying about it, what wasn't in a non-spoiler way. So make sure you drop those non-spoiler thoughts down below. Please don't spoil any big things for the fans out there. We will have a spoiler review within about 48 hours of this video. So please, around 48 hours or so of this video, please don't spoil anything. I beg of you. But when it comes to my overall hype level for this film, I was over the moon. This was my most anticipated film of the year. Did it deliver? Is Deadpool Marvel Jesus? It does deliver, but he's not Marvel Jesus, okay? So let me get that out of the way for you. This does not necessarily tie into the multiverse saga in every corner of the MCU and tells you exactly where we're headed for Secret Wars, Phase 5 and Phase 6. It doesn't tell you that per se, but I think there's some hints that definitely ties into everything. I do think we're going to be seeing our title characters again. I won't spoil if they live or die, but I would say in some fashion or form, no matter what happens in this film, I do think we are going to see these title characters again, whether that's Secret Wars, whether that's a Deadpool 4, whether that's an X-Men film. I don't know. But we will see Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds respectfully back as Deadpool and Wolverine, no doubt in the future at some point, I feel in my heart of hearts. But overall, those two's chemistry is off the charts in this film. They are so fucking fun to watch together, whether they're playing the more emotional side of both the characters, the funny side of the characters, the way that those characters clash and fight each other, and all the dynamic of Deadpool getting on Wolverine's nerves and being the funny man and his straight man, buddy cop style, road trip movie style. It definitely is effective here, and their chemistry is off the charts. And when you see the beginnings of where they started working together on X-Men Origins Wolverine over a decade ago, all the way up till now, it is such a treat to be able to get to see these guys as real life buddies, as real life friends and colleagues, be able to get into this movie, get into the roles they're going to go down in history for, and play so well off each other and elevate their work and elevate their performance as these characters and elevate the legacy and continue it on into the next generation and really just make a statement that they were born to play these characters. So that element is not lost in this film whatsoever. When it comes to Ryan Reynolds, he has never been more hilarious as his character. He has never felt more heartfelt as his character. And you can just tell that he just grows with this every single film. And his writing and contributions to the script are felt. And I feel like they really honed in on the writing to get the why and to get the stakes right for all the zany, fourth wall breaking, ball busting, Disney roasting, all that stuff, and then the crude sexual humor that's always there. You know, you see it in the trailer and everything like that. He literally had to go explain certain sexual acts to the Marvel Disney execs and all that stuff in order for them to understand and be on board for what was going on. But it's still in the film, and they don't pull any punches with the R-ratedness of this film, in my personal opinion. Plenty of F-bombs, plenty of carnage candy, plenty of sex crazy ass jokes, plenty of that Deadpool edgy rawness that we've come to love from the character way back in 2016 with the original movie. They carry that over here very nicely. Sean Levy did a phenomenal job directing this film, by the way, and I would love to see him take on another Marvel project at some point. I would prefer him to do the X-Men Deadpool side of things as opposed to the Avengers, but if they hired him for Avengers 5 or Secret Wars or anything like that, I would be hyped to see it. But I do think he plays a little better with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, so I think staying in the X-Men, Deadpool side of things would be a little bit more of a strong suit for him because he's made some of his best films with these guys. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Real Steel with Hugh Jackman, that Rock'em Sock'em Robot movie shouldn't have worked, and it did, and it worked really well and is a very underrated film. His work with Ryan Reynolds on like Free Guy, that was one of my favorite movies of the past 5-6 years. So he does some great work as a director. I don't think he has a distinct vision as like a Robert Rodriguez, a Tarantino, a Chris Nolan, a Spike Lee, but I do think he's a very capable director. He brings a lot of heart to his stories, and he's done some great work on TV with Stranger Things and stuff like that as well. And he has writing and directing credit on that, so don't think he's just producing and collecting a check. He is firmly involved in the creative process in developing the story and the characters with the Duffer Brothers that came up with the initial idea. So Sean Levy is a very, very good filmmaker, a very good creative in the world of Hollywood, and I really, really dug what he did with this movie here. He brought all the heart and emotion, really shot 99, I would say like 95% of the action. He shot it really well. I only had a problem with one sequence that he did. It was a little shaky cam in the very first half of the fight, but once you kind of got to the second half of the fight, it was cutting back and forth with Deadpool and Wolverine dealing with the main villain and things of that nature in Cassandra Nova, and them dealing with the whole conflict that was going on with these other characters, their allies teaming up with them to do this whole scenario. It was so well done the way they were cutting back and forth. And when it comes to Wolverine and Deadpool's like their confrontations with each other and other characters and stuff like that, phenomenal stuff, you know? And he had a great first and second unit that was helping him to capture all this stuff as well. So hats off to Sean Levy, did a phenomenal job working on this film. And you can definitely see that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds being involved in the writing team with Sean Levy, however you say it, and Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who were the original two writers on the first film, helped shepherd that over the decade that it took to make that movie happen. And they were also involved heavily in the sequel, and I think they did their best work here. When it comes to all the cameos, when it comes to all the multiverse shenanigans and the love letter that is this movie to the Fox Marvel Universe, chef's kiss. It's phenomenally done. I haven't seen cameos or things be as well done and as satisfying since both No Way Home and Endgame. This is some of the funnest true blue comic book movie stuff that I've ever seen in a film. This is a comic book come to life. This is like the equivalent of what Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe or something like that would be if you put it in the hands of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and Sean Levy and let them cook. This is such an awesome comic book movie. It delivers the fan service, it delivers the cameos, but actually gives the characters real roles and something to do in support of what the main heroes are doing. The reason for bringing Wolverine back is so well written and so well done. Even though maybe it's not fully fleshed out and you don't get every little detail per se about the Wolverine, aka Logan, backstory, without going into any specific details and what they tell you and what they don't, I think they do a great job at bringing the gravitas and the drama to the character of Logan and bringing in that dynamic to this film to really ground the zaniness, but not shit on the legacy or do anything to tarnish the great ending in third act and the swan song that was Logan. And I think that even James Mangold is going to be in on the joke and have a good time with this film because they find a way to bring the character back and do something in a new direction and do it comic book accurate like we've never quite seen before, but also bring all the elements that Hugh Jackman does to this role. And he's always able to plus that. And over the course of 25 years since he got cast and played the character in 99 before the release of the original X-Men in 2000, this is phenomenal stuff, man. Let me tell you what. And the humor is so spot on in this film, and I love the way that they're always able, I would say at least 90% of the time, to balance out the humor with the story and keep that through line and the plot and everything making sense for the most part in and of itself in order to bring you a very satisfying experience, man. Really, really great stuff. I do have a couple criticisms of the movie, but I don't want to get into any too much specifics because I don't want to even risk giving away any spoilers, but I highly recommend this film. You need to go out and watch this, and I'm telling you, the more of a Marvel Comics, Marvel film, Marvel Fox, whatever, Deadpool fan that you are of any of these franchises or movies, it's just going to make your enjoyment that much more powerful with this film. I think it's really well put together, really well directed, really well paced. It's so endlessly rewatchable between catching all the fun moments, watching the great action, getting the payoff of seeing Deadpool and Wolverine together, but also getting to see all the crazy Easter eggs and references that are sprinkled throughout this movie. And I'm probably not even going to get into all of those even in my own spoiler discussion of this film. So make sure you drop your thoughts down below, spoiler free, and what you thought about this movie. I had a phenomenal and fun time with it. I enjoyed pretty much every second of this movie. Opening credits, closing credits, everything in between. Chef's kiss. This is one of the best films of the year. This is one of the most fucking satisfying movies I've seen in a long time. This is going to go down, to me personally, as one of the best comic book films of all time. Whether you're talking about the more fun, spectacle nature, or the more serious side, I think this is the perfect blend of the two and really is what comic book movies are all about when they're truly being comic book movies. But yeah, man, let me know what you thought about it down below. I want to get into a discussion with y'all. Please don't spoil anything. We got a full spoiler discussion dropping this weekend. So right now, why don't we jump into those spoilers and then you're going to catch this on the part 2 for next time.